Welcome back. Now we'll briefly talk about the double quotes and the single quotes and where they can be used. I'm just gonna delete all of this very quickly and do a save as. Let's do a save as, and I'm gonna call these let's just say it's concatenation. Okay, now let's change the title to concatenation, and inside here I'm gonna put my opening and closing PHP tags. So I'm gonna assign a variable here called first variable, or let's just say first equal to let's just say equal to, this is my first variable. Okay, and I'll call another variable. Let's call that one second, and let's assign that to, this is my second variable. Okay, so I'm gonna put my semicolon there to avoid errors. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to echo the variables out one by one, but first of all let's just echo a variable and see something. Okay, now let's echo a variable with single quotes and see what it's going to look like. Okay, now we'll echo a variable. Let's pick a different sentence. Let's say this is my third variable, and I save that. Go to my browser and I change this to concatenation.php. Now you discover that it echoes, this is my third variable. Now for those of you that might be wondering why it echoed only this is my third variable, that is because that is what I echoed. Okay, now the first variable and the second variable were just assigned. Okay, they were not echoed. Okay, now the only thing I prompted to be echoed out here is the third variable, which I did not assign to any variable but just wrote the string in our echo statement. Okay, so now what I wanted us to see is when you echo a string with single quotes, the string comes out normal. Okay, the string is being outputted normal on the browser for you, but when you echo that with double quotes, let's see double quotes. Okay, now let's put one here and eliminate that. Let me change this to our fourth variable so that we'll know if we're gonna get an error or not. I'm gonna do a save there. I'm gonna refresh. Now you discover that there's also no errors in our code. Okay, but now let's try something new. Now we've just been echoing strings. Let's try to echo a variable this time around with single quotes. Okay, now first of all, before we do that, let's echo the variable without quotes. So we'll pick our first variable and echo it without quotes and see what is going to come out for us. Now when we do that, we'll discover that the first variable came out. So this is my first variable, which is exactly what our variable first means. Okay, but now when we put single quotes around variables, let's see what is going to happen. Okay, so now let's refresh and you discover that the string first came out. Okay, now what I'm trying to say in essence is when you want to echo or output strings, you don't use when you want to echo or output variables, you don't use single quotes. Okay, you use double quotes or no quotes at all. Now let's try for double quotes and let's see what is going to come out. Okay, so there we go. Let's save that and let's refresh. Now you discover that when you use double quotes, now what the variable stands for is what will be echoed out for you. In this case, first variable means this is my first variable, okay? Now, but when you use single quotes, then it echoes out what is inside the single quotes, be it a variable or whatever is inside the single quotes is being echoed out for you. But double quotes for variables gives you what the variable implies, okay? So that is one of the major differences and where to use and not to use single quotes and double quotes, okay? So now in terms of concatenation, when you are concatenating, you either use a double quotes when you are concatenating with variables, or you use no quotes at all and concatenate it with the second variable like this. There. Now when you concatenate like this, you correct, it's gonna echo normal, like this is my first variable, this is my second variable. But now when you try to concatenate with double quotes around them, let's try that and see. Blam, the same thing, we'll get the same thing, okay? But this time around with a period sign in it. Let me remove that. Now you discover that we have the same thing, okay? So now when you are echoing a variable, you either use double quotes or no quotes at all, okay? And when you're concatenating, you put everything in double quotes, or you concatenate one by one without quotes. If you add in a variable to it like this one here, let's take a look at that. Like we want to concatenate the string first to the variable first to the string y, okay? So now we want to say this is my first variable y, okay? So we're going to say first concatenate with y. Now our y is a string, so it can just come in to single quotes, sorry about that, y, and I'll put it like that. Now when you concatenate like that, you stay right because the concatenation was done separately with the string inside single quotes, okay? Now if you don't want to do it that way, you can also concatenate be putting everything inside a double quotes, okay? So we'll do that one like this. Now you open your double quotes, calling your first string, and add the string y. Put your delimiter there, and let's see how it's going to look like on our browser. Very good. Now you discover that concatenation can be done in two different ways, of which I prefer the double quotes method because it's a lot easier for me and saves me the stress of typing ... for concatenation. And though you know which one is best for you, but I would like you to go through the video and understand the concept. When you do that, we're going to look at string functions next, then catch you in the next video.